Hi everyone, and welcome to Ecstasy Crafts. Today I'm just going to do a little demonstration on how to use the new Sticky Specks. So it comes in the two different sizes, the A5 and the A4. And so I'm just going to do some demonstrations on how I like to use it. So we're going to start with parchment paper. So usually when I'm working with parchment paper, I always have the difficulty of, you can always see the tape or the glue, whatever I decide to use. So today I'm just going to show you that it's really simple just to use your Sticky Specks to adhere some parchment paper to your crafting projects. So I just have some Sticky Specks here in the A5 size, and I'm just going to cut a little strip off the edge here. Actually, I'm going to do two of them. And so what I'm going to do is just peel this off and put it along the edges of my parchment paper, and then I'm going to peel that off, and it'll have the adhesive on there right along the edges. And I'm going to reuse this piece because usually when you're using your Sticky Specks, the whole thing doesn't get used, so you can keep reusing it over and again until it's completely non-sticky. So I'm just take the second piece here and put it along the edge of this parchment, and again on the other side. Then I'm going to pick that up and I'm going to adhere that to the inside of my card so that I can have a little parchment window for the outsides, just like that. Now also what I like to use is, I like to use my Sticky Specks for my mini sentiments. So I just have a piece of Sticky Specks here. You can see that it's already been used. So you can keep reusing your Sticky Specks until there is no sticky left. When you're using the mini sentiments, I suggest using little tweezers or something, maybe a pokey tool to help you get things off. Do keep in mind that it is very sticky, so if you're using a new sheet, be very gentle when peeling your sentiments off. First couple times I used it, I did end up ripping my sentiment, had to do it again, but no worries, it's just a little bit of a learning curve. So there we go, I'm just going to stick that right onto my parchment. And then if you look on the inside here, you can't see any glue or any glue dots or tape marks at all on your parchment craft. So here's the finished card that I just added a little flower on the corner. So that's one way that I like to use my Sticky Specks. So another way I like to use my Sticky Specks is to add a little bit of glitter to my stamped images. So here I'm just using the butterfly from one of our woodware stamp sets. It's a polymer stamp. So I just mounted my stamp on my Stamping Buddy Pro, and I'm going to use my ink to stamp that. Then I'm going to go ahead and clean off my stamp and just give it a few seconds to dry here. Then take a dry cloth to it. Then I have cut my Sticky Specks into a more manageable size. So I'm just going to put that down onto my, right onto my stamp there. I'm going to press down so that some of those Sticky Specks get stuck onto the stamp, and then I'm going to stamp that on, right back onto my stamped image. I'm going to do that again. And then I stamp that right onto my stamped image, and there we go. So I'm going to take a clean piece of paper here, put it under my project, and then I'm just going to add a little bit of glitter on there and shake off the excess. And then here you can see that there's some really nice glitter on that butterfly now. So another way I like to use my Sticky Specks is to add gilding flakes to my stamped image. So I'm just going to stamp that image again, make sure that that's dry. Just give it a couple seconds there to dry. Then I'm going to take my Sticky Specks back right onto my stamp. And press down firmly, make sure some of those Sticky Specks stick onto the stamp. And I'm going to close that door. And because I'm using my Stamping Buddy Pro, I know that it's going to stamp in the same spot. All right, so now I'm going to take my scrap piece of paper again. I'm going to add a little bit of gilding flakes on top. And just rub that in. And use my little tool here. And you can see that it adds that little bit of sparkle there. Can you see that? That adds that little bit of gilding flakes to your stamped image. All right. So another great way to use your sticky specks is with ribbon. So I have here just a couple of pieces of ribbon that I cut. And here we go. So I'm just going to use a larger piece of sticky speck paper. And I'm going to place my ribbon directly onto my sticky specks. I'm just going to close that little plastic flap on there, give it a little rub, and then you have your ribbon is just full of sticky specks. So you can see that? How nice. And so I didn't get the edges here, so I'm just going to add some more so I can wrap this around the edge. Perfect. And then I'm going to also do that with my bow that I made here with the bow maker. And again, just place that right onto my paper. And here we have it. Look how simple and easy that was. Add a little bow accent to any card making that you're doing. That's not coming off. That's pretty sticky. Okay, so another way I like to use my sticky specks is on intricate dies. So recently we had a class, and this was the die cut that we cut out for the card. So this is the background that we're doing. And so can you imagine trying to put glue in all the little tiny spots? So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use a new sheet of sticky specks because I want to cover the whole back of this intricate die. So I'm just going to take my new sheet out. I'm going to peel this plastic film back and place my die cut right on there. Close that little flap and just give it a nice little rub. And then when you peel it off, the back of your die cut will be full of the sticky specks. And then you can easily just place that right onto your project. And see how flat, and it got all the corners, all the edges nice and flat. Very easy, and that just took me a few seconds to get that on there instead of fussing with all that glue. So that's another easy way that I like to use my sticky specks. Okay, so the last way I want to show you how to use your sticky specks is you can always use this. This is some MDF. And I'm just going to use the sticky specks to adhere that to my paper here. And so what you want to do is just place your object onto your sticky specks, give it a nice press down, and then we're just going to adhere that to our paper. And that is solid. That's not coming off now. So you can go ahead and add that to any of your projects that you're working on. So these are just a few little ways that I really like to use my sticky specks. I find that it works much quicker than using glue, and there's just so many applications on how to use them. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. If you guys have any other ways that you use your sticky specks, please comment below and like and subscribe. And have a great day. Thanks for watching.